Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL, Inspirations for Your Life. If you're listening to us, just go to believemeachieve.com to check out my link tree. If you're watching us, well, then just launch your camera app, point over the QR code, touch the yellow lips, and you'll get my link tree in just a couple seconds right on your smartphone. Thank you so much for joining us. Really do appreciate friends, colleagues, associates, whether you're new or you're coming back. Thank you. Thank you so very much from the bottom of my heart. And we start on a Saturday, we roll through the week, and we finish up on a Friday with our brand new master topic that we have. And I want to thank you if you're watching us on the replay, 1 a.m., 1 p.m., 2 a.m., 2 p.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 4 a.m., 4 p.m., 5 a.m., 5 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., or 10 a.m., 10 p.m., 12 midnight, 12 noon, whenever you're watching us. Thank you so much for making Inspirations for Your Life a special part of your day every day. And let's get into the master topic. Is everyone ready for it? Here it is. Essential principles for interacting with people. Series 2, Show 16, episode number 6. So that means we're in our second year. And that's pretty cool. I can't believe, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to crack I believe it's going to be we're going to crack our episode that'll be actually, we'll be cracking our 600 episodes. So this will be 599 for tomorrow that'll hit. And then on Friday, that'll be basically so the 599 was tonight's episode. And tomorrow, Friday, will make us at 600 episodes. That is like amazing. I know that's really cool. So let's get right into the master topic show. I know you guys are all dying for me to do that. So we're talking about something really cool, which is a concept that a lot of people don't quite get. And it's called essential principles for interacting with people. Yeah. So you might be saying to me, hey, John, how does that work? Well, first thing you want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is you want to begin with praise and honest appreciation. We've talked a little about this, but the thing is, when you do it and you're conscious of it and you do give praise with honest appreciation, it tends to go a very, very long way. I mean that. It means to go a very, very, very long way. Think about that for a second. I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that there's more to beginning with praise and honest appreciation. Because, see, a lot of people start with praise, but it's not honest. They're doing it to kiss up. That's the real reason. All right. So call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. So people are going to make mistakes, right? Don't single them out because they made the mistake. Call them on the side. And when you do this, you're going to find that people are going to respect you and they're going to be so much more willing to want to make those slight changes that you're asking them to do. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Why is this important? Hey, Brian, when I was at my first job many years ago, I remember always putting in the containers backwards. And I did this like every 100, I would put in like the 101th backward. And my boss came over to me and he's like, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean I'm doing? He's like, you're putting the 101 in backwards. And he called me to his office. He's like, so when you get to 100, I want you to just stop. Okay. And then start again, but realize what you're doing and it'll go pretty well. See, I didn't realize we were changing to the next mode. And I think that was really pretty cool. So talking about your own mistakes before criticizing others, I think that is a game changer, ladies and gentlemen. That is a big game changer. I mean, it's a big game changer, right? A really, really big game changer. So, ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Maybe somebody's working on something and it's not working out well. Say, Brian, so how are you putting those in the box? Um, the corner end first and this way. Okay. And how are you putting the second level in? Just like this. Okay. Now, how are you closing the box? Um, I guess I'm just going to close it. Well, show me. Oh, it doesn't close. Huh. I got an idea. Why don't we try putting them in this way? And that might change what's going on for you. Oh, that's a great idea. But you don't do it in front of people. I think that's the most important thing. You don't do it in front of people. Okay. That's really, really, really cool. You have to do it in front of people that are there to help you. You're not doing it in front of your peers. So that's why you always take them aside and say, hey, what are you doing? And I think what you're going to find is that when somebody does do that, it's like, oh, wow, I actually get it. But a lot of people don't actually get it. They just don't. Why? I think it's because they're afraid of what's going to happen or what other people are going to say. Yeah, they're afraid. And so they don't want to be put down or, anything like that. And of course nobody wants to put anybody down, right? But I think that's kind of what's happening is, it's that type of a thing. And I will tell you that it's pretty cool, um, you know, to um, to understand why people are doing something a certain way. And I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when you take somebody aside to do something, I think it makes a big difference in their life because now they actually feel respected. Huh. They feel respected. So if they feel respected, then that's going to make a huge difference in their life, right? Just think about that for a moment, all right? And tell me if you'd rather be told something in front of everyone or if you'd rather be taken aside. Chances are you probably would want to be taken aside. Your ego and things like that. And no one should be demeaned or put down. No one should do that. And I've told you before, no one has the right to make you feel inferior about yourself except for one person, you. So what's the point of you actually doing what you're doing so you can make yourself more important? No. When you make yourself important, you actually show the world how unimportant you are. Hmm. And like I said, starting today with honest appreciation, calling attention to people's mistakes indirectly, talking about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person, and then asking questions instead of giving an order, it kind of changes things for people. It changes things. And then they're like, "Oh, I didn't quite get it." But now they do. Now they pretty much understand what it is that you're doing. And when they understand, I'm going to tell you that it's probably magical. Okay? It's probably magical because you're doing something in a very, very unique way. I mean, a very, very unique way. Um, does that mean that what you're doing is wrong? Well, you don't want to offend somebody, do you? Probably not, right? You don't want to offend somebody. If you offend somebody, then that could be a problem because people may not necessarily understand what's going on. And so people just need to understand a lot of times the why. Once they get the why, it's like they're right on board with what you're doing. I mean, they're right on board. Okay. I'm going to tell you that asking questions to get people to come to a realization is pretty interesting. You never thought about that. So you can get somebody to change their perspective just by asking them a question like, maybe you want somebody to do something differently. Okay, so why are we putting the red ones in the box first? Oh, because that's what I've got handy. But the yellow ones are a little smaller, aren't they? Good point. But yeah, it all fits. Oh, well, how do you put the next one? How do you do this? And how do you close the box? And oh, I never thought about that. The box isn't going to close. The box is not going to close. Think about that for a second. I'll tell you that it comes down to the fact that we need to treat people in a human way. Think about that for a moment. Think about that and what that means. And when you start to get an appreciation for people, it's like you don't want to harm them, you don't want to hurt them, you don't want to embarrass them. Sometimes people do this and they put their foot in their mouth, like, Brandon, what are you doing? And there's all these people, and now you didn't realize, but you put Brandon down in front of his peers or his friends on the assembly line or in the company, and now Brandon doesn't feel so great. Instead of calling Brandon in and asking questions or saying, hey, I wanted to bring you here and just share with you. You're doing a great job. It's just that when you're packing, make sure that you actually seal the bottom and the top of the carton, because I noticed some of them are actually falling apart when the other guys pick them up. Does that make sense to everybody? Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? And it makes sense because you understand the biggest thing is people want to feel good. And no one wants to be put down. But if we have to get them to change their behavior, we're not changing them, we're changing their behavior or an action they're doing. That's not personal, ladies and gentlemen. That's just things to be more efficient. And when you approach it like a behavior, people are going to be like, oh, so I just need to change the order. Like when I put the tape on the box, I've got to do it this way. Does that make sense? Think about that for a second. Think about what that's going to mean for you. And I think what you're going to find is that people actually understand why things are working a certain way, but it's after they've had a chance to walk in other people's shoes. That's right. I said walk in other people's shoes. But walking in other people's shoes is not an easy thing to do, lady. It's not. I mean, it's not an easy thing. And I think some people don't quite get how it works, right? They don't understand what it means to be a certain thing, right? And so, what I want to share with you is that everything has, let's say, has a purpose to it. Okay, and when it has a purpose to it, it changes. It changes. But most people don't have appreciation for something until they've been able to see the wrong way. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just that that's how people learn. They learn by looking at it the right way and seeing it the wrong way first, right? That's how they look at it. They look at it by that way, and if we can understand what people are doing, I think that'll make a big difference in our lives and in other people's lives, right? But most people that do this, they think they're doing it for a reason to help others, but really what they're doing is they're not helping the other person. They're not helping the other person. And so What does that mean when we say that? I think what it means is that people need to understand their culture, right? Where they are. I think that's probably the biggest thing they have to understand. They have to understand their culture. They have to understand their culture. And if they understand their culture, okay, then I'm going to tell you that it makes a great big difference. That's right. I said a great big difference. And so that difference is something that is quite amazing. I mean, it's not just something that we just do once, but it's something that really makes people understand. Okay. It makes people understand what's going on. Okay. Think about that for a moment. I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that just making an intention to help other people is going to make you really excel. I mean, really excel. Because when people see that you care about them, oh my gosh, they're gonna light up. Just ponder that for a minute. I'll tell you that the way this makes the most sense is because of how you as a person respond to the other. So again, when someone does something that's not within protocol, um, it's important to take them aside. Even if it's something very critical, take them aside. There's no reason that everyone else in your company or your organization, I don't care if it's volunteer or whatever, don't embarrass them. They probably feel so terrible for what they did and just correct it offline. Now, if they make the mistake in front of somebody else and the other person calls me and says, hey, you bring that person, hey, Mike, can you come here a minute? Joe, can you guys come here a minute? Sure. Hey, listen. So Brian's new, right? And you remember when you guys were new at the factory, like over 12 years ago? Do you remember what it was like? Okay. You remember when you guys made mistakes in the line? We never made it. You made mistakes. Okay. Very long time ago, 14, 15 years ago. How'd you feel when you made those mistakes? Part of the process, right? And how did we correct that or get you to change that? You brought me in the office and you gave me uh, a talk and you asked me some questions, and then I kind of figured it out myself. Exactly. What are you doing to Brian? You're humiliating him on the floor. I know you guys are more seasoned than he is, but that's no reason for you to put him down. And I mean that because no one is going to become better if we don't help them build the confidence they need. I mean, that's really the truth. So when we need to change, it's usually someone's behavior, not the person. The person's fine. It's a behavior, it's an action, it's a task. When we approach it that way, it's not so emotional, right? Maybe you got Brennan and he's making a mistake and say, hey, and nobody's around. Hey, Brennan, you're doing a great job. Keeping up with the line. That's amazing. And I just want to help you with a tip. When you're putting them on the box, if you could just flip the gun the other way, you'll find it'll go a lot faster. And then we'll be able to scan the codes without having to flip the box later. Oh, that's really cool. And it'll be like you're his best friend. I mean, is that kind of cool or is that just kind of like wacky? It's cool. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It has been an amazing privilege, pleasure, and honor to be with you this fantastic evening, Thursday, April 2023. I hope you'll like, love, support the channel. Definitely comment below, tag your friends, colleagues, and associates. Share this out with everyone you know on social media, and then go to my YouTube channel, John Space, C Space, MLAY, serial entrepreneur, and look for the key phrase, help keep our content free. And make the choice, ladies and gentlemen, to buy my team and I a cup of coffee by clicking on the PayPal link or a bowl of fruit or a savory dessert. We'll be so grateful those pennies and dollars will invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping motivational content to empower you. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, whether you have a small company, a large corporation, or you're just volunteering with a few friends, no one is perfect. And so we need to embrace right now the big fact that we need to help people change their behaviors without making them feel like they're terrible people, because it's not the person, it's the behavior. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful evening. You know I'm going to see you guys tomorrow to wrap this up. This has been an amazing, I mean, a really amazing week talking about these great concepts, many from Dale Carnegie, as you've heard, and essential principles for interacting with people. It's not just in business, it's in our own personal life. Have yourself a great night. I'll see you tomorrow, everyone. Take care.